This is KSUT Public Radio. Regional news is next. A new report shows thousands of abandoned mines across our region pose pollution threats because of the possibility of flooding. The Mountain West News Bureau's Caleb Radel brings us the story.
Nonprofit research group Headwaters Economics found that Colorado, Utah, New Mexico, Montana, and Idaho each have thousands of abandoned mines in flood-prone areas. When heavy rains hit, those sites can leach toxic metals like arsenic and lead into rivers and groundwater. It's unclear how big the threat is. Mine inventories are scattered and incomplete, making it difficult to know which sites pose the greatest danger. Headwaters researcher Bridget Mitchell says that's why more urgency is needed.
We need to make it a bigger priority so that we can better protect our people, our waters, and our local economies when the next flood happens.
The report urges Western states to build better mine databases, secure steady cleanup funding, and fold these hazards into local flood plans, steps that could help communities avoid costly disasters. For the Mountain West News Bureau, I'm Caleb Radel.
Earlier this year, the National Firefighter Registry for Cancer went offline in the wake of massive federal layoffs. But since it restarted last May, enrollment has surged. The Mountain West News Bureau's Murphy Woodhouse has more.
The number of current and former firefighters, structure, volunteer, and wildland who have enrolled in the NFR has now passed 30,000. It's an impressive milestone, but not the only recent one.
The NFR is the largest group of firefighters ever assembled to study their cancer risk.
That's Kenny Fent, an industrial hygienist at the National Institute for Occupational Safety and Health, who oversees the NFR. It surpassed a 2014 study that had just shy of 30,000 enrollees, the vast majority of whom were male structure firefighters. Based on that and other research, a World Health Organization body classified firefighting as a carcinogen in 2022.
Our group of firefighters is much broader than that. We have firefighters all across the country, from large municipal fire departments to rural fire departments to wildland firefighters, volunteers, various demographic groups.
His team hopes to get to 200,000 enrollees. For the Mountain West News Bureau, I'm Murphy Woodhouse.
Earlier this month, a grizzly bear attacked a hiker in Yellowstone National Park. That hiker was able to walk out and recover, but states are trying to prevent grislier encounters. They've stepped in to help manage the iconic but federally threatened species as well as the people on the landscape. As the Mountain West News Bureau's Hannah Merzbach reports, one solution involves a robo-bear.
About 100 residents and visitors are waiting eagerly in a parking lot in Jackson, Wyoming, the gateway to Grand Teton National Park, which is home to many grizzlies. They're here to save $50 and get a free can of bear spray, the most popular way to fend off a bear. But first, they have to practice using it.
Aim right at the bear's face, maybe slightly downward.
Wyoming Game and Fish employees wearing their signature bright red polos hand out cans of practice spray.
Okay, you're up. All right, thank you.
There's a mobile plastic grizzly the size of a cub. Employee Mark Otten drives it to the end of the parking lot with a remote control, like a toy car.
All right, so I'll have you guys line up. 5
people at a time, they face away from the grizzly, gripping their spray. Then Otten accelerates the robo-bear toward them, teeth bared.
Bear, bear, bear.
They whip around, throw off the safety, and try to pull the trigger. A few successfully discharge the spray in time. It smells like nail polish remover, unlike the real stuff, which, if it gets in your face, feels like hot peppers being stuffed in your nose and leaves most people crying on the ground.
It's just a huge benefit to have this physical, tangible, metric of oh, I'm totally not prepared, or oh, I did all right.
About half of Otten's job is teaching people how to stay out of trouble. He spends the other half dealing with conflicts.
Going to be a lot more lenient with a bear that has maybe found a bit of birdseed that was unattended away from a house versus a bear that has tried to break into a shed.
They try to catch the bears on their first offense before they're too used to humans and their food. Sometimes they relocate the bears. Other times they're too late and decide to euthanize them.
I think we're living in coexistence right now.
That's Otten's boss, Dan Thompson.
Where we have a lot of bears and a lot of people, and that increases a lot of conflict potential. So we're trying to do things and reduce that as much as possible.
The National Park Service says the chances of being injured by a grizzly in a place like Yellowstone are about 1 in 3 million. Bears are more likely to end up hurt. More than 50 grizzlies have died this year in the area, many hit by cars or put down for attacking livestock. But Thompson says the population still has healthy numbers. And its recovery since being listed on the endangered species list in 1975 is a success story. Yet it remains on the list.
Being stuck in the suspended animation doesn't allow you to finish the story.
Many environmentalists want to see grizzlies stay federally protected, since they only occupy a slice of their historic range. But the state of Wyoming, Montana, and Idaho want them delisted. That could mean starting up hunting seasons and complete state management, which Thompson says is pretty much already happening.
We're doing all the work on the ground now.
Responding to conflicts, reducing attractants like trash and bird feeders, and educating the public on how to keep the bears at bay. That includes people like Auten.
The whole goal is that by the time that this is out of its holster, all you're doing is pointing and spraying.
The event's wrapping up, and Auten's giving some extra tips to some of the people lingering around the Robo-Bear.
Do you have a nickname for the Robo-Bear?
I don't. I just call it Robo-Bear. I've heard kids sometimes will call it Roberto, but that's the only one I've heard.
With that, Auten loads his trusty colleague Roberto into a trailer. The Bear's got a busy schedule charging people around the state. For the Mountain West News Bureau, I'm Hannah Merzbach in Jackson, Wyoming.
Next on our regional news segment here on KSUT, a report from Colorado Newsline. The state of Colorado, along with 15 other states, is poised to sue the federal government for ignoring endangered species regulations in a wide range of infrastructure projects on public lands. One of those projects, a controversial proposal to expand an oil shipping facility in Utah, would significantly increase hazardous rail shipments through Colorado. Phil Weiser, Colorado's Attorney General, and the Attorneys General of the other states provided in a July 18 letter to Trump administration officials a 60-day notice of their intent to sue, and that notice expired last week. You are listening to Regional News on KSUT Public Radio. We continue with a report from the Colorado Capital News Alliance. The state of Colorado is activating its prison population management plan for the first time due to severe overcrowding. Vacancy rates at state prisons stayed below 3% for 30 days. Sheriffs warned months ago the shortage of beds was backing up local jails. Lawmakers cut 300 beds in state correctional facilities this year to help close a $1 billion budget gap. They later restored funding for 100 beds. The enacted management plan allows some eligible inmates early release. Advocates say too many people are being sent back for minor parole violations, like missed appointments. Corrections officials insist those cases are down from historic highs. Also from the Colorado Capital News Alliance, the Trump administration has signaled it wants to block Colorado from closing its coal power plants, and now state Democrats are pushing back. CPR's Sam Brash reports.
Colorado has 6 coal-fired power plants. Utility regulators have approved plans to close all of them by 2031. To codify that timeline into federal law, the state included the closures as a part of a plan to protect air quality above wilderness areas in national parks. But the EPA claims the state doesn't have the authority to close the facilities. Colorado's congressional Democrats sent a letter to the EPA Thursday saying its interpretation of federal law is wrong and undermines Colorado's right to protect air quality.
Content produced by the Colorado Capital News Alliance is funded in part by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting. Support for local and regional news on KSUT Public Radio also comes from the Colorado Housing and Finance Authority.
Support for public policy reporting comes from the Gay and Lesbian Fund for Colorado, promoting programs designed to ensure all Coloradans have the same opportunity to thrive. More information is online at gayandlesbianfund.org.